I'm growing better. My biggest challenge right now
Right.
is my interpersonal communication with my wife.
Mm.
Like it blows my mind that I've been with her for 22 years and I still struggle with that space in the sense of, and I think, two spaces. One, I love and respect and revere her so much.
Right.
Everything I come to her is kind of jaded to like, hey, is this a good time? I want to be respectful.
Right.
So I'm kind of carrying my truth, ready to share,
Sure.
carrying different levels of intimacy, wanting to engage. But I'm like constant reading her to see like, boom, boom, boom. What's up, family? It's your boy, Coach Crump, here with my boy Chizzy.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody?
We on the Boy Man King podcast. The journey continues.
Yes.
What's up,
family? Man? How you been?
I'm blessed, man.
Yeah, it's just us today, man. We're doing this thing solo.
And listen,
People
man.
like us.
Yeah. And I'm excited, man, because we was talking earlier, chopping up, man.
Yeah, man.
And usually I wouldn't go into this space about like, hey, man, sharing what I'm doing spiritually.
Right.
But just really is for educational purpose, conversation purposes.
Mm.
We was having a lot of conversation about still being a man, still having to develop. And I'm currently practicing a fast right now.
Okay.
And, part of it is I want to just do a better job of controlling my flesh,
Right.
And the other part is I want to get closer to God.
Sure.
That's really the main two reasons. And it's just interesting. I'm doing like a fast at 6 to 6, water only.
Okay.
And it's like people do full day fast with just water for a whole week. Some people do longer. Some people do way more than a week. So I'm just trying to see like, man, this is what people go through. And I think about, even we've both been able to travel.
Right.
And I was in Haiti, and those kids was eating every other day. And they would eat dirt pies to kind of like, cover their hunger pain. So it helps. I think, especially yesterday, man, when I hit that pain around 2, 3, like you just connect to the reality, man. Everybody's not eating every day.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are going through way more stuff than what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, until you are experiencing something, my wife always tells me, Chris, you got to feel stuff to really understand what people are going through. But it's like, bro, you sitting here fasting, but like millions of people not even going to eat today or haven't eaten yesterday.
That's the norm. That's the norm. And we know the intention, obviously, behind the fast, behind trying to be disciplined. But like you said, there are people on this planet who, and these are the things we take for granted, being on the West. We talked about it in our South Africa episode. We talked about our experiences on that side of the world and how that kind of opens our eyes to certain things. But some of these things we definitely overlook day to day. So I think it is important, and I definitely applaud a fast. I haven't done a fast as of yet. I want to get onto that that part of my journey.
Yeah. You like food too much.
I mean, I'm a chocolate chip cookie type of guy. So yeah, I do like food, not too much, but it's a different level of discipline. I kind of feel like for me, I'm still in a spiritual development part of my walk. So I'm there with you. I obviously see the benefits of a fast and why it's important to become disciplined and be able to remove yourself from those norms of eating, so you can spiritually, get closer to God and open your heart and your mind to those things. But for me, I'm gonna get there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get there. How's the experience so far? You're on day what?
Day 2.
Day 2.
I'm on day 2, and we talked about this. Is part of also curating a culture as a man, right? And we talked about this, man. You can be developing something, and you can be developing something while you're still frustrated.
Sure.
While you're developing. And I think as important as men, as adults, we share that, bro, I'm doing this, and I'm frustrated. I'm doing this, and I got resentment. I'm doing this, and I'm tired.
Yeah.
I think it's important to understand, like, sometimes people look at, man, Crump, you got this, you got that. I just want to make sure you clear, bro, that I was tired the whole time, or I was challenged the whole time, or I was struggling. Like, I had some woosah moments, but you don't build something bigger than yourself or beyond yourself by always catering to yourself.
Right. No, it's definitely the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite.
And so we were talking about, bro, when does it stop? 40, 50, 60?
Yeah, it don't stop. We talked about it offline, and it's just a continuous thing. If you're called in service, if you're called to do things that are greater than yourself, it's gonna, I think, for life. And we've had milestones with children, with education, with organization stuff we've done collectively and individually. But now that we're in a different space, via the podcast, with the work you're doing, I'm taking my own educational journey. It's just you just shift to continue to just be selfless, because everything we're doing is for other people.
So let's talk about that. You're currently, how old are you now, Chizzy?
Man, stop it, man.
Come on, let the people know, man. Let's have
Right,
connection.
I'm 47. I go 48 September 14th.
Shout out to you, man. And then, but you're
in the 40 club now. You know this.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm proud, man. I embrace my grades, man. The Salt and Pepper Ministry.
Thanks.
But I wanted to get to, you're going back to school. And you're going to get school to get a degree in.
So I'm gonna do a master's in counseling and psychology.
So you're getting your master's at 48 years old. You're going back in school.
Back to school at 48 years old. So my friends are like, man, you're gonna be the oldest person in your class. You're gonna have 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds in your class. But I'm like, man, you never. I tell my kids, my son's currently in university.
Come on.
My daughter was like, Daddy, like, you sure you want to go back to school now? There's so much going on. I'm like, listen, you're never too. And so for me, as we talked about, it's always a demonstration of continuing to develop ourselves so that the people around us can benefit from the stuff that we're willing to sacrifice and the investment we're trying to make in ourselves.
Yeah.
So going back to school at 48, I think this is an ideal time, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Talk about it.
The kids are older. My son's 20, going 21. We talked offline about the challenges of grooming a young man now. But I feel like now I'm in a space where I'm more disciplined. I'm a lot more focused. I know exactly where I want to go and what I'm trying to achieve. Boy, man, king, counseling, a lot of the stuff some of the stuff that we've done in the community over the number of years. This is just another endeavor for me to just continue to just build on me so that the people around me, as I said, can benefit from that.
Yeah.
School starts on September 5th. I'm super, super excited.
Yeah, man. Happy for you too, bro.
I'm just looking forward to this next chapter. We talked about it even outside of the podcast. Like, in life, there's always multiple chapters. And you get to a place where the book that was written up until this point was relevant for then, and how do we now shape our lives, and how do we shape our families' lives around this new chapter we're stepping into? So for me, it's education. For you, it's podcasting. It's your leadership roles. It's a lot of different things, but we still need our piece. And you kind of talked to them a little bit.
Yeah, and I want to bring this to the community, man. I had some recent, I've been working. I was telling you about my frustration of like, bro, like you get to 40, you got the wife and kids, you get the house on the hill with the dog, you get the cars, you get the bag, and it's like, God still pricks your heart. Yeah. But bro, you still got to serve. You still got to get better. You still got to be responsible. And it's like, sometimes it's just like frustrating. Right. You know what I mean? Just on a practical tip, it's just frustrating. But I was sharing with you, like, as I'm going through this, I'm growing better. My biggest challenge right now is my interpersonal communication with my wife. Like, and I was challenging, I was discussing it with you in the sense of like, it blows my mind that I've been with her for 22 years and I still struggle with that space in the sense of, and I think, two spaces. One, I love and respect and revere her so much. Right. It's jaded. Everything I come to her is kind of jaded to like, is this a good time? I want to be respectful. Right. So I'm kind of carrying my truth, ready to share. Sure. Carrying different levels of intimacy, wanting to engage. But I'm like constant reading her to see like boom, boom, boom. And so it's very frustrating for her because she likes for me to initiate, but the reality is I'm in a space where I really need her to initiate. Like, hey, it's a good time. Yeah. Hey, it's not a good time. I want to talk about this. I don't want to talk. And she does when I ask, but then it's be like, when do I come back? Right. So like if you say you're not ready to talk about something, when do I come back? If you say you know, like it's just like I came. I thought it was a moment.
So it was ready,
but it wasn't ready.
It wasn't ready.
So it's like, and then I was telling you, like, because you know when you love somebody so much, I don't. Let me say this: I don't hold on as hard to things not working. So it's like, okay, out of sight, out of mind. So I done moved on day 2 to the football game, to the kids' schedule. Of the thing I really want to talk about, she still low key wants to talk about that. But I done moved on, not because I don't want to talk about it, but because life done had me move on. But that kind of builds frustration because we're not effectively talking about the things that intimately we really need to talk about.
Right.
But I got to do a better job of assigning responsibility in my home. And I want to ask you this. I came up with this. I want to let you what you think about this. As a man of the home, I'm responsible for the people. But as a woman of the home, she's responsible for the peace.
I like that. I like that. I think both of you are equally responsible for the peace. Men, we have a lot to show that we already do this. We have a responsibility. Somebody breaks into the house, they ain't going looking for.
That's why I say we're responsible for the people.
We're responsible for the people, but we're also responsible to ensure that the people in the house know their responsibilities too. To your point, right? Your wife, and in my limited understanding, is responsible for the peace. Yeah. But you're also responsible for ensuring that you create the environment so that she can actually make the peace happen.
Yeah, which is I really need her help. Like, you know, I'm going to go back and talk to her again. But like, I think my pride and ego and my humility is like blended now. Okay. It's like I had so much pride and ego, but then I really operate humility. But it keeps coming back. It keeps muddying the water, muddying the communication. But I really just need her help on what that looks like for her. Right? I really need her like practically tell me, I need you to do this and this today. You
ask a question. We talked about it offline. Ask a question.
Yeah.
You can ask an open-ended question. What do you need from me today?
But if she's pissed or have resentment or just frustrated at me, she'll be like, nothing. When me and you both know when she walks off in a matter of like 2 seconds, nothing. It's definitely something. Right. But I'm so frustrated with you, I don't even feel like talking about it. But like, the reality is that bothers me, that hurts my heart because I love her so much and I want her to be at peace so she can provide the peace that our family needs, right? So it's just like, it blows my mind at 22 years in, you're still struggling with the same thing.
My parents have been married, 50 years. My dad often tells me, man, I'm still learning your mama. And that's 50 years in. So
wow.
If that's any motivation for you, bro, it's a continuous thing. Because as we know,
that was not motivation. just in case.
It's motivation in the sense that you have that longevity in your a lifespan to figure it all out, and it's not always bad.
Yeah,
you know, it's a lot of great moments.
Context matters. Like there's no fighting as far as physically. There's no underhanded stuff with money. There's no disrespect to in-laws. It's just, I want bliss with my wife, deep down at the core of me.
Is there? What do you mean when you say bliss? What does bliss look like?
Like,
because there's some realities that come with obviously being married.
Yeah, but let me explain.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Okay, I got bliss with my children, right? Like, that's probably the closest bliss of like, we don't have to explain our relationship to each other. You know, like, and we were talking about this. This is not all the relationship that every parent has with their child. Right. But with me and my children, like, we can just get each other. Yeah. And we just accept each other. Me and my wife get each other. The accepting part at points, it'd be like, I ain't accepting that. You know what I'm saying? Now, and she does a better job of just communicating and articulating than I do. Yeah. I just start acting different. Right. You know what I'm saying, with my frustration. Right. But I want it to be where we're just fully embracing all aspects, even the side that, doesn't come up short sometimes, or doesn't get it good all the time. That's not always there all the time, but there's no resentment in my heart about that. Like I don't have resentment in my heart. It's just like frustration of I want us to get there so bad, But I'm not discouraged about fighting or communicating or trying, but it's like in my mind, and I know I'm limited to what I know and understand. But I'm like 22 years, dang, we still, and it's just like, and granted, she's growing, morphing, and evolving. So am I. But it's very interesting. And my wife has a great heart. She's committed. You know what I mean? She's ride or die. But it's that last little gap. It's that last little gap that's like, man, we're so close.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm just expressing that.
I mean, the communication is obviously the most important part. It's only when two people stop communicating and stop trying, then that's when stuff starts to reach its demise. And obviously, we're not saying that that's just the space that you're in, but the mere fact that you're conscious of it and you're cognizant of it and you're bringing it to the forefront, even to her, that's amazing, because a lot of people don't even have that and have been married for years and for years, right? But give yourself some time, bro. You gotta give yourself some grace too. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're talking about a whole complete other individual.
Yeah.
So you have your style, you have your way of thinking, you have your way of operating, and although you've been together for 20-some years, been married, have all these wonderful kids and wonderful experiences, these are still two individual people who are growing, have milestones, have their own entire journey that they're trying to navigate as well. You know what I'm saying? So you'll find that now this is a challenge. Maybe 5 years from now, you'll have a different challenge. And it's just a continuous thing in my limited understanding of how this goes. And I'm speaking from the perspective of what I've seen with my own parents. Thank God, that they were able to, they still stick it through. And at the end of the day, you know what their grounding is? Their belief in Jesus Christ, and know that at the end of the day, he's the one that's getting sorted out for them. And that's the measurement for success. It's not me, it's not her, because your ego, her ego, our stubbornness, that'll get in the way every day and twice on Sunday. If the measurement for our success is our faith in God, and we know that we're going to go to him for everything that we need as a resource, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and that's true for me and my wife. We really wouldn't be together right now if we didn't have faith in God individually. Sure. Like if we didn't have that, there's no way we'll be together right now. I will say this though, man. She gave me the greatest date of all time. Yeah? Yeah, man.
Let's hear about the date, bro. You want to talk about the date? Let's hear about the date, bro.
Man, she says, we're going on a date, and she put it in my calendar, date night with Bae. So I'm like, dang, this is new. You know what I'm saying? But I'm liking the vibes. So date night with Bae, she's never done that before, but I like feeling like it's important that I'm a priority. You know what I'm saying? Like her doing that was like, she's focused on me.
Speaking for most men right now, bro.
Listen to me. I'm at an age and stage where I need to be pampered. I need to be a priority. Like I need to be like you moving with me on purpose.
Because it keeps you going. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you going.
Facts.
It's important.
Facts. And so I was like, she did a dope date last year. There was another date night. She did something dope for my birthday this year. So I was like, okay. Like, all right. And I like the fact that wasn't like, hey, let's do a date night. Like I didn't have to do no like ushering in of the energy. It's just like, no, I'm doing a date night with Bae. Right? I'm like, bang, because I'm the romantic type, so I'm always kind of got things in place for that type of stuff. So we go there, and then I was like, yo, we had some dope leftovers the night before. Like she cooked a bomb dinner, and it was like fire. Like she made some steak and some yams, and I was like, yo, I know you're about to go to this dinner, but I haven't eaten all day. And I was like, but how bad should I eat if it's already 2:00 and the date night scheduled for 5? Right. So I was like, well, I eat these.
Spoil it.
So I was like, I don't know where we going. I don't know what this is, but I'm finna eat these yams and this steak right now. Like, so I know I got a good meal in me. So she said, oh, it's gonna be at 6 instead of 5. I said, okay, bet. And then she's like, oh, eat before. I'm like, eat before? And I was like, okay. So I said, well, great. I just ate, so I'm actually pretty good. And then she goes, bring some like workout clothes. I was like, workout? I said, Bae, listen to me. I've already I ordered went to the gym that day.
Man, just sit here. Just acquiesce to her date, man.
No, bro. Trying
to moody needle.
Calls, bro. Listen, I said, listen, babe, I am not like what are we? Because now I'm taking out mentally,
right?
Because I worked out so hard, the morning of, and I like, bruh, I can't do like whatever date this type of is. Like I bruh, she don't really tell me. We get to the spot in Atlanta, and it was this thing called sip and stretch. So you got wine, you got music, and then you stretch with your partner on a yoga mat. Take your shoes off, and bruh, it was the best date we've ever had.
So you're inspiring me, bruh. I mean, because we got some single brothers out there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's nice. I'm glad that we have the married guy, the divorced and single guy. So we can kind of, because there's a lot of brothers out there that are looking for the queen.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to be able to balance it out and hear what it's like 22 years. Yeah. Man of God. Yeah. We don't have it all figured out, but we're humble enough to want to continue to push, man. So that's inspiring. I'm glad.
Yeah, she gave me the gas. I would be honest, I think the gas for the rest of the year. Okay. Like that's how strong that date was.
My small recommendation, try to be intentional with date nights.
Yeah. Well, what was obvious?
You know the game.
Well, what was obvious is we got now she structured that whole sucker out. Right. But we would just go to Ted's up the street because you know what I mean in our neighborhood.
A little once a week,
you know what I'm saying. We got our favorite bartender, favorite appetizers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. We have a vibe. Like that's kind of like, hey, let's go to Ted's real quick, man. Just get off of work. I don't feel like dealing with the kids.
Super important, bro.
But the date night was so good, bro. Like it was. We talked, we laughed, we stretched, we hugged, we bend, like we breathed together, like.
That's amazing, bro.
I was like, yo, this was like, it was literally medicine for our relationship. Like it was, but like I'm talking about that real good stuff. And I said, babe, this was the best. It was the best date ever, man. So shout out to a lady who blew up on Instagram in COVID. It's called Sip and Stretch. My wife follows her. I don't have no clue. Like she completely surprised me with the whole experience. But all the dudes in there with their wives, or everybody in there with their significant others, like it was a vibe. It was a vibe, man, and it kind of like just give me a lot of gasoline. Like, all right, now, and you know me, like me and my wife are competitive. It's a weird thing. I'm like, oh, I got the next date night. I got the next date night, man. But it's stuff like that that makes me love her so much. Right. That makes me appreciate her so much. So that when I even see her frustrated, and I know
I was gonna say because that's leading into there's uncomfortable times that you're gonna have to pull from
because. My wife really only gets frustrated with one person in the whole entire world, and it's me. Like everybody else, they kind of do what she tells them. Like, because she's a boss in her space, she's a boss in her life. The only person that doesn't do what she asks is me. So don't get it wrong. I do what she tells me to do, but I do me too. And so.
We know you, bro.
Yeah. What does that mean? What does that mean?
It just means that we know you're strong-headed, bro. I'm knowing you for years. You're my boy, 150 grand, and I know you're strong-headed. So I pray for Nick. I pray for him, bro. I'm being honest. You're my boy. I love you, but I pray for Nick because I know her spirit. I know she's very calm and collected. You know her differently, obviously.
Yeah, man. It hurts coming out your mouth, but
Bregin, I'm your boy. I love you.
Yeah. But I gotta do a better job of humbling myself and serving in a different heart space. Like I've been too much of a boss, and she even said something about coming on the podcast. I was like, yeah, have you? She was like, she said, oh, you triggered me. I said, why? Did you ask me? I was like, no, I didn't ask you, but I was like, dang. I didn't ask her. And it's like, I just make these decisions, including her, without asking her. And she's asked me that over and over again. And it's just like, make it so bad, right? So I'm doing a better job of catching myself in the moment. Because the problem has really been, I would catch myself after the fact. And it was a bigger problem when she had to even bring it up to me to even catch myself. Like, oh, my bad. Apologize. It's like, see, if I wouldn't even said nothing to you, you wouldn't even know that you even did that, and that's even a problem for me, right? So we're at Sip and Stretch, and the lady goes, Now, one of you decide to be A, and one of you decide to be B.
You decided?
No. So I'm in the Zen space, right? I'm stretching, I'm putting out my hand, I'm breathing, right? And I say, babe, you take A. And I say, the person, whoever decided to be A, you take the lead. B, you just follow them.
Okay.
So she takes the A, and I'm like, babe, I said, oh, whatever you say, babe, I follow your lead, right?
How did that feel though? How was it difficult for you to do that?
It wasn't difficult for me to do. I just had to catch my subconscious way of being and showing up in general. Sure. And so it's just about what my wife really needs in this season, who I need to be in this season, and that pivot of just, just double down on the humility, double down on how I need to show up for her. So, yeah, man, that's where I'm at, bro.
So this clearly is. So for me, this is a great episode.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk a lot about your vulnerabilities, your struggles. So I really, really appreciate that in this particular episode.
Yeah, man.
And my boy Crump is getting in, and so that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Humility is that's the quality of the day. I talk about it a lot because it keeps you in a space of servitude. It keeps you in a space to be able to just serve and give people what they need emotionally, physically.
Yeah, because I've learned myself in the sense of humility. Like I had convicted humility, but not coveted humility.
That's a bar.
Yeah, so
break that down. That's a bar. I like that.
I practice humility because of my convictions to God.
Okay.
So I showed humility. People would tell me I'm humble.
Because it's a requirement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I would do it because of my conviction to God. But what I realized with my wife, I'm not actually subconsciously humble. So I'm working to have a heart change.
Okay.
To whereas I'm always humble. I'm always in that space because that's who I am.
Sure.
I'm in transition. I'm not really like that. I operate like that because that's the right way to behave. And I'm convicted by God. I should be behaving like that. But I want to get to a space where that's who I am.
Right, where it happens organically.
Yeah, so I think part of working on my flesh and working on my spirit and working on this fast is really working on my heart to really be who I desire to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But just dealing with my own flesh. You know what I'm saying?
That's big, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Crump, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, look. It's what we do.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Good episode, man. That was a good one. I like this one. That was a vibe. You got to really, really show your softer.
Yeah. Well, that's enough of that. Listen, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Follow the Boy Man King podcast, man. Sir. We'll talk to you guys soon.